Hi everyone, thank you for listening to my blog, Remember December 1773. So this will be my first topic. Since it's Black History Month, by the way, happy Black History Month, I will be giving a little history lesson on our political parties. Then later discuss my point I will get across later in this vlog or video blog. So this is already looking tense, but I believe it's important and valuable in society today. Again, I looked all this up. I won't get into major detail, so I encourage you to read and study this history for yourselves. On that note, let's begin, shall we? So, in the beginning, which party pushed for slavery and which party tried to abolish it? Well, in 1854, Democrats passed the Kansas-Nebraska Act. This overturned Missouri Compromise and allowed importation of slaves into the territories. Anti-slavery members of the Whig Democratic parties founded the Republican Party to stop slavery from spreading and to one day completely abolish it. The black community founders founded the Texan Republican Party on July 4th of 1867 in Houston, Texas. In 1850, Democrats passed fugitive slave law, which caused a person to lose the right to representation by an attorney or right to trial by jury. In 1872, there was a congressional investigation of Democrats, later admitting they were part of starting the Ku Klux Klan. Why, do you ask? Well, it was to stop the spread of Republican parties and reestablish Democratic control in the southern states. So you're asking me, well, geez, you talk a lot about, the Democrats and the negative part of it, but Republicans are just as guilty. Well, you're right. When did the Republican Party turn their backs against the black community? There's a guy that opened this discussion to me, has clearly brought this to light to me. His name is K. Carl Smith. I really encourage you to look him up and what he has to say. He's really a great person to check out. But anyways, when the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964, 18 senators and Barry Goldwater, a Republican, voted against it. Why? Well, you would think racism, of course. No, that's actually not it. It was based on constitutional grounds that dealt with accommodation and employment. The GOP nominated Goldwater to run against Lyndon B. Johnson. When that happened, the black community, or the Party of Emancipation, which was issued by Lincoln on January 1st of 1863, by the way, felt politically homeless. It was so bad that Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. issued a press release condemning the nomination. You see, Goldwater wanted to be so constitutionally right that he was morally wrong. 1964 was a tipping point where black community joined the Democratic Party. So what is my point, you ask? What am I getting to? Well, both Democratic and Republicans are demonizing one another today, when both of them are guilty. I want to inform you about our choices of words towards the opposite side. I bet you could at least raise your hand to one of these name callings that you have been told yourself or have seen or heard in the mainstream media. Let me go with a couple here. Unintelligent, extremist, commie, dumb-ocrat, neo-Nazi, Obama drone, zombie, teabag, left-wing nut, right-wing nut, etc. Let me tell you something I learned in high school. If you are trying to make people join you or change their preference about you, do not mock them. If all you do is mock the people who disagree with you, you miss your chance to honestly engage with them. Everybody agrees. It is hard to listen to somebody who doesn't respect you. This Bible verse explains it well. James 3:10, saying, "From the same mouth comes blessing and cursing." My brothers, this should not be. Also, another great Bible verse, James 1:19 through 20, saying, "Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger, for the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God." I hate some things about politics. Of course, it's the dirty side of spewing hate to get attention. We have this idea that if we are loud and say everything we can before opponent gets a chance and say a couple things to smudge his or her identity, you are looked at as the winner. When that is the least unprofessional way to engage with your opponent. Nothing will get done. Nothing will be taken from it. I guarantee you that. So when you hear mainstream news and they mock the other party, remember, they are giving you what you want to hear and dividing us completely as a country. We're citizens who politically choose a party, and here's propaganda being spewed 24 hours a day. You bring it against your neighbor. It's like a wildfire. It spreads and it does no good to anyone. Anyways, that is the end of my vlog. Thank you for listening. Please comment and like or disagree. I am all open to you, and I thank you again for coming to remember December 1773.